Hey guys, it's Cece with Nachanana's Crochet, back with another tutorial. Today we're going to be doing a sleeveless sweater dress. I have a 4mm hook and some Pound of Love yarn here. I do also have my measuring tape. I'm going to start out by making my chain. I'm about a large. So I'm going to chain it to 20 inches. Okay, now that I have my chain that stretches to 20 inches, I'm going to start making the first row. I chain up two and then go into the third stitch with a half double crochet. I'm going to go down the rest of the chain with half double crochets. Now that I've completed the first row of half double crochet, I'm going to chain up two and turn my work. The next step is to make two more rows of half double crochet so that there's 3 rows of half double crochet. Okay, now we have our 3 rows of half double crochet. We're going to chain up three and turn our work. We're going to do the first crisscross row. So you're going to skip that first stitch and put a double crochet into the second one in the row, and then go back to the first stitch and place a double crochet into that one. And you'll repeat that across the entirety of the row. So skip one stitch, go into the second one with a double crochet, and then go back into the stitch that you skipped with a double crochet. So here you can see that I've completed the crisscross row. You're going to chain up two turn your work, and place a half double crochet in the top of each of those stitches. Don't forget the first one. Sometimes it's kind of hidden in the back, but the more you do it, you'll be able to find it. So now we're going to do 7 rows of half double crochet. Don't ask me why I did it that way first, but 7 rows of half double crochet. Now we have the 7 rows. I'm going to chain up 3 and then turn my work so we can do another crisscross row. So just like the last crisscross row, we're going to skip that first stitch and go into the second one with a double crochet, and then yarn over and go back into that first stitch that you skipped with a double crochet. Then you'll skip a stitch, double crochet, go back to the one you skipped and place a double crochet until the row is completed. Now that our second crisscross row is done, you're going to chain up 2, turn your work, and do another row of half double crochet. You're going to do a total of 7 rows of half double crochet. All right, now we have our 7 rows of half double crochet. I'm going to chain up 3 and turn my work so we can make our third crisscross row. So we've chained up 3, turned our work. We're going to skip that first stitch, go into the second one with a double crochet, and then yarn over, go back to that first stitch and place a double crochet, and then you skip a stitch and place a double crochet, go back to the one you skipped and place a double crochet. Do that for the remainder of the row. Chain 2, turn your work, and we're going to do 2 rows of half double crochet. After these 2 regular rows of half double crochet, you're going to do 5 more rows of half double crochet, but with a decrease at the beginning and at the end of each row. Chain 2, turn your work, and we're going to start with a decrease. So yarn over, go into the first stitch, yarn over again, go into the second stitch, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through the remainder of the loops. Now we're going to half double crochet until you reach the other end. Now that we're at the end of the row, we're going to do another decrease. So yarn over, go into the second to last stitch, yarn over again, go into the last stitch, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through the remainder of the hoops. And then we're going to chain 2 and turn our work. We're going to do a total of 5 rows of decrease. So we're going to start with a decrease. So yarn over, go into the first stitch, yarn over, go into the second stitch, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through the remainder of the loops, and then half double crochet until you get into the last 2 stitches and do another decrease. Again, we're going to do that for 5 rows in total. So here you can see me placing my last decrease. I have done 5 rows in total. And then I'm going to chain 3 and turn my work so we can do a crisscross row. We're going to skip the first stitch, go into the second with a double crochet, and then go back into the one that we skipped with a double crochet, and continue that for the remainder of the row. Now we have our fourth crisscross row. I'm going to chain 2 and turn my work and then do a row of half double crochet. I'm going to do a total of 7 rows of half double crochet. Now that I have my 7 rows of half double crochet, I'm going to chain 3 and turn my work so we can do another crisscross row. So same as before, you're going to skip the first stitch, go into the second one with a double crochet, go back to the one you skipped with a double crochet, and continue for the remainder of the row. Now that we've finished the crisscross row, I'm going to chain 2 and turn my work. That way I can do 2 rows of regular half double crochet. Now that we have our 2 rows of regular half double crochet, I'm going to chain 2 and turn my work. That way we can start with our 5 rows of increase. So to start our first row of increase, we're going to go into that first stitch with a half double crochet and then go back into that same stitch with another half double crochet. In the next stitch, you're going to place 1 half double crochet and continue to place 1 half double crochet in each stitch until you make it to the last stitch of the row. So now we've made it to the last stitch in the row. We're going to place one half double crochet and then go into that same stitch with a second half double crochet. Then we're going to chain two, turn our work so we can do the second row of increase. We're going to do a total of 5 rows of increase. So here you can see me starting the second row. You're just going to place a half double crochet in the first stitch and then another half double crochet in that same stitch. You're going to do one half double crochet per stitch until you reach the end of the row and do another increase at the end of the row. So now you can see me doing the last increase by placing 2 half double crochets in the last stitch of the row. And then I'm going to chain 3 and turn my work so we can do another crisscross row. Skip the first stitch, go into the second with a double crochet, and then go back into the one you skipped with a double crochet and continue for the remainder of the row. We've completed the crisscross row. I'm going to chain 2, turn my work, and then do a row of half double crochet. We're going to do a total of 7 rows of half double crochet. So here you see that I've done the 7 rows of half double crochet, and then I've also done another crisscross row. Now I'm going to chain 2, turn my work, and do 7 more rows of half double crochet. I'm going to do that pattern to complete the one side of the dress. So I've done that 5 times, starting from that one right at the hip line down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here you can see me finishing this off with a row of single crochet. I finished the row of single crochet. Now I'm going to cut my yarn, and then we're going to start making the other side of the dress. So here you can see me starting the second side of the dress. We're going to go back down to the end where we started with the initial 3 rows of half double crochet. Um, so I measured out 4.5 inches. If I did it again, I would probably only do about 3 inches on each side. I put a slip knot, chain up 2, and then half double crochet to my stitch marker, and then I'm going to chain 2, turn my work, and do another row. We're going to do 3 rows of half double crochet on each side of the panel. Now I have the first side done. I'm going to cut my yarn, do a slip knot, and do my 3 rows on the other side. Okay, now I have the 3 rows on each side. I'm going to count the number of stitches in that space and chain the exact same number of stitches so I can attach to the other side. You can see me attaching the chain to that last half double crochet in the row, and then I'm going to cut my yarn so I can continue. Right now we have 6 rows of half double crochet, so I'm going to do a slip knot and attach my yarn, chain 2, and do one more row of half double crochet. All right, now that we have our 7 rows of half double crochet, I'm going to chain up 3 and turn my work. That way we can do another crisscross row. So we skip that first stitch, go into the second with a double crochet, and then go back into the one that you skipped and continue until the end of the row. All right, now we're going to chain 2, turn our work, and do a total of 7 rows of regular half double crochet. We have our 7 rows of half double crochet. We're going to chain 3, turn our work, and then we're going to do another crisscross row. So remember, skip the first stitch, go into the second with a double crochet, and then go into the one that you skipped with a double crochet, and continue for the remainder of the row. Okay, and when you see me come back on, I will have completed an additional 7 rows of half double crochet and another crisscross row. So I'm going to finish this row of crisscross and then another 7 rows of half double crochet and one more crisscross row. So now on the second side of the dress, we should have completed 3 of the crisscross rows. So now we're going to do 2 rows of half double crochet. So we're basically mimicking the first side of the dress. So I did 2 rows of regular half double crochet, and then I did 5 rows of half double crochet with a decrease on the end of each row, and then 1 crisscross row. Now I'm going to do 7 regular rows of half double crochet and then another crisscross row. So I did my 7 regular rows of half double crochet and then a crisscross row. Now I'm chaining 2 and turning my work. I'm going to do 2 rows of regular half double crochet and then 5 rows of half double crochet with an increase on the ends of each row. If you need to see me do an increase, you can slow it down and watch me do it here as well. All right, so I did my 5 rows of increase and then I did another crisscross row. Now I'm going to chain 2, turn my work, and I am going to do 7 rows of half double crochet and then another crisscross row. Okay, so when you see me come back on, I will have completed the second side of the dress. Here you can see me showing you how much is left to be done. I still have to complete the bottom half. So it needs to be 5 of the crisscross rows with, the 7 rows of half double crochet in between. So here is the full dress, both sides. And I also did the row of single crochet at the end of the second side. Now I'm going to single crochet all the way around the entire dress. Okay, now that I've done a border around the entire dress, I'm going to sew up the sides. So I'm going to go from the bottom of the dress up to where the hip part is. The first of the 5 crisscross rows on the lower half. If you don't have any yarn needles, you can do this by simply slip stitching the entire way up. But once you get to the hip part, um, you're going to tie your yarn and cut it so we can sew up the side underneath the arm. So I cut both ends and tucked in the strings. Now I'm going to start sewing underneath where the arm is. I measured down 8 inches for the armhole, and that's where I placed my stitch marker. Now I'm just going to sew from that base point, you'll see, up to the stitch marker. Okay, and that completes the dress. So both sides are sewn up, and I did place a single crochet border around the neck hole. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, and if you make the dress and post on social media, please tag me. I would love to see it. Thanks again, guys. Love you. See you next time. Bye.